Sambhar, the gift from Thar, lies in the royal desert state of Rajasthan. Being the third largest salt producer in India, the white silvery salt gathered into the lap of Sambhar Lake spreads across 4 districts, namely Nagpur, Jaipur, Ajmer and Sikar, with an area of 5,700 kilometers square. Our journey starts from Jaipur, 80 kilometers away from Sambhar. If we go by the aphorism of locals, the story of Lake goes back to 6th century. The sacred goddess of Chauhan clan, Shakambhari Devi, in return of service provided to her, converted a dense forest into a plain of silver, but later, due to request of inhabitants, she transformed silver into salt. The temple of Shakambhari Devi still exist on the edge of lake.
माता जी के टेंपल के लिए जो बताते हैं, पुराने लोग कहा करते हैं, वो ऐसा कहते हैं कि जैसे पृथ्वीराज चौहान जी वहाँ पे जब विचरण कर रहे थे तो वहाँ पे माता जी प्रकट हुए वहाँ पे से, तो उन्होंने मतलब उनसे वर मांगने के लिए कहा कि मांगो, तो बोले कि जहाँ तक मैं अपना घोड़ा दौड़ा सकूँ वहाँ तक की सारी ज़मीन जो है वो चांदी की हो जाए। उन्होंने दौड़ाया, रियल में चांदी की हो भी गई, बट उनके कहने पे कि अगर आज ये चांदी की हो जाएगी और तो आगे जाके लोग अपने आपस में झगड़ा करेंगे, तो उस चीज़ को फिर उन्होंने कच्ची चांदी के लिए बोले कि आप कच्ची चांदी बना दो उनको, तो वो नमक का इस तरह से झील का विस्तार हुआ है।
Sambhar is an extensive saline wetland with a fluctuating water depth varying with seasons. This is an elliptical shaped lake with 35 km length and 11 km width. As we approach Sambhar salt production area, the colonial structure reminds of the British time. Since the ages, the control of salt production passed from local communities to Rajputs, the Mughals, the British, and finally to the Sambhar Salts Limited (SSL), a joint venture of Hindustan Salts Limited and the government of Rajasthan. Mr. Manoj Sharma, a senior technical head at Sambhar, shared the information about the salt industry and took us for factory visit. The ancient-looking rail network was built up in the British era with boast of 3 rail gauges at one place. The network runs across the entire stretch of salt production area. To know the very first step of salt production process, we moved to production area. Where the salt is extracted from concentrated underground water deposits. After salt water reaches a certain concentration, procedure used for collection of salt is evaporation process of brine. This process yields evaporated salt, the purest of all salts, almost 100% pure sodium chloride.
नमक ब्राइन से बनता है और इस नमक में जैसे कि केमिकल कंटेंट्स होते हैं, इसमें नीचे ज़मीन में सोडियम इसमें मात्रा है, सेलाइन रॉक्स हैं, जिससे कि कैपिलरी एक्शन से इसमें नमक की मात्रा आती है ब्राइन की, जिसकी डेंसिटी हो जाती है 25 डिग्री, उसमें नमक बनना प्रारंभ हो जाता है। उसको हम इस ब्राइन को एक रिजर्वायर में रिजर्व कर लेते हैं। कंडेंसिंग एरिया में हम उसको घुमा के उसकी डेंसिटी बढ़ा के उसको क्रिस्टलाइजर एरिया में डालते हैं, और क्रिस्टलाइजर एरिया में डालने के बाद वो नमक बनना प्रारंभ हो जाता है।
This traditional process is monsoon dependent. Leaving behind salt, the workers break down the crystallized layers and let it dry. The raw salt is transported by the small salt train. A JCB loader machine is used for carrying the raw material to plant. From where the raw salt, with a network of conveyors, filters and huge noise-making machines and tanks, complete various steps like washing, drying, grinding and filtering. A coal furnace is used to produce heat required to take the moisture out of raw salt. It takes time to reach to a finished and packed product. The Sambhar salt. Sambhar Lake produces 21 lakh tons of clean salt every year, which equates to almost 9% of India's salt production. Sambhar Lake has also been designated as a Ramsar site, as the wetland is the home of flamingos and other birds which migrate from northern Asia. But their number has fallen drastically in the past 2 decades because of over-extraction of subsurface brine from the lake. In 1982-83, there were 5 lakh flamingos. Their number fell to 20,000 in 2008, and each year the number is going down. Historically, lake used to receive its water from 4 seasonal rivers: the Mendha, the Rupangarh, the Kharian and the Khandel. But today the salt production is totally dependent on groundwater. It is threatening for wetland ecosystem of Sambhar Lake, and the illegal business of salt extraction at Sambhar Lake has led to over-exploitation of water resources in the area.
ये जो हमारा ग्राउंड कमीशन है, वो ग्राउंड वाटर कमीशन है, वो कहता है कि आप जितना भी नीचे से पानी लेते हो उसको रिचार्ज जरूर करो। यदि आप रिचार्ज नहीं करते, दैट मीन्स आप उस जगह को खाली कर रहे हैं, खोखला कर रहे हैं। और यदि कोई अवैध रूप में यहाँ पर जितने भी हैं उसको डिस्चार्ज कर रहे हैं वहाँ से वाटर को, उसको रिचार्जिंग का कोई ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहे, तो उससे क्या हो रहा है कि पूरा का पूरा इस जमीन के ऊपर एक बर्डन पड़ रहा है।
We tried to visit the site where illegal groundwater extraction units were installed, but we did not know the right way to reach there. Somehow we reached our destination, but by the evening it was too dark to identify the installations, and we were also told by the locals that it was not safe. So we decided to visit location again during the day. Now, everything was palpable in front of our eyes. We saw many illegal bore wells. We saw a massive network of electric wire and water pipes to run the motors and transfer the groundwater from the catchment area to private salt producing units far away from the lake. The private companies consuming lots of groundwater from Sambhar Lake without following the proper process of recharging. The National Green Tribunal (NGT) has ordered the Rajasthan government to cancel the allotments of salt pans in Sambhar Salt Lake that fall within the wetland. Now the present situation puts a question on these running bore wells. Are these bore wells setting a countdown the extinction of the wetland ecosystem of Sambhar?